Don't get stuck with a lemon. Most states do not have a used car lemon law. Now, lemon law, by the way, traditionally protects only new car buyers. Now, lemon is usually a new car purchase that spent a lot of time in a service department, and a consumer can traditionally negotiate with the manufacturer to either get the car replaced or have repairs done. But remember, lemon laws traditionally don't apply to used cars. States such as New York and New Jersey do offer some limited protection to used car buyers, so you'll need to check with state laws of your state so you'll be familiar with your rights before you sign on the dotted line. Don't be foolish. So many consumers are penny wise and a pound foolish. They're willing to spend thousands of dollars for a used car and spend hundreds of dollars per month to drive it, but foolishly will not spend approximately $14 up front to get a condition report from such companies as Carfax or Experian AutoCheck History Report. These reports, while not foolproof by any means, can offer a great deal of information about the history of the vehicle you're thinking about buying. These reports can divulge information such as previous branding of the title. What I mean is, has the car been totaled? Has it been damaged somewhat? Has it been under a flood? All right, number two, flooding of the car. I want to know if that car has been underwater. I also want to know if the odometer may have been set back or rolled back, because the history report will show me at some point in time what previous odometer readings were. Is there a salvaged title? Was this car ever reported stolen at some point in time? It also gives a good VIN decode. What I mean by that is the vehicle identification number tells a lot about a car. It gives you not only the year, where it was made, it also gives a complete breakdown of the major equipment of the vehicle. Has any of that major equipment been changed? It gives you ownership history. If someone's bragging and boasting, hey, that's only a one-owner car, the history report may divulge it's had 3 owners. I'd like to know that well before I sign that bottom line. If that car has been involved in an accident, it could also list a police report. There have been stories of fake airbags out there. It's sad to say, but airbags, there's really no way to tell if the airbag that's supposed to be there really is there. There's no tool or implement that tells me that airbag can work. So one of the things you really want to know is, has that car ever been involved in an accident, and has that airbag ever been deployed and replaced? Did you know there are fake airbags out there on the market? Don't get stuck with one. Spend the $14, get a report. The FTC has something, that's the Federal Trade Commission, has something called the Used Car Rule. The FTC Used Car Rule, when you go to a dealership, you'll see a piece of paper on the window, and it tells you as is or with a warranty. In other words, there's something on the car window that explains what's available as far as your protection. Now, please understand that this isn't available on private owner sales. You really don't know what's available or not available because there is nothing available. You're buying them as is. Also, on the back of that FTC used car report, there's a list of items which explains what could possibly go wrong. When you go to an owner who's selling the car by themselves, there's pretty much the rule that you're on your own. So you have to take that into consideration. The FTC rule also says that you've got the right to take that vehicle to your own private mechanic to have it checked out. Now, in the next segment, we'll go through a very thorough step-by-step walk-around process that could very well give you a shopping competitive edge and perhaps even teach your own mechanic a thing or two about buying a used car. In the meantime, you must understand that many individuals, both private and even legitimate businesses, don't even think twice about unethical business practices. Oftentimes, cars and trucks will cross state lines from one area that was heavily flooded to another state where unsuspecting consumers end up buying vehicles that were once underwater. Thousands and thousands of vehicles end up in areas that were flood damaged. You don't want to end up with one of those vehicles. A quick check of a vehicle that you're considering looking at can tell you if that car ever was underwater. And here are some things to look for. 1. Look for water lines on the engine, the radiator, and wheel wells. Number 2. Does the vehicle smell a little musty? Number 3. Is the vehicle perhaps a 3-year-old, 4-year-old car with high mileage, but the interior is brand new? They replaced the carpeting and upholstery. That's not right. Number 4, get a mirror. Your mom might have one in her purse. And look under the front seat. What you're looking for is to see if the springs or any metal parts might be a little rusty. Number 5, look at the air intake. That's where the air filter is, and see if you find leaves or any other debris in the air filter area. You know, it's amazing how careless crooked people can be. Don't look at used cars at night. When you're ready to make that final decision, you want to look at that car in the daylight hours. You can't see poor bodywork, and you can't see where a car might have been painted at night. So if you're shopping at night and you found what you think you might be interested in, go back in daylight hours and look again. And by the way, if you can, ask the dealer if you can speak to the previous owner of that used car. And incidentally, this may not be possible. You see, there are privacy laws out there, and many consumers don't want their names and addresses or phone numbers given out, so you might not be able to get that information. So the dealer's not being mean about it, they just might not be able to. Also, if that vehicle happened to be purchased at an auction, they might not know who the previous owner was. You also want to check the VIN number. That's the vehicle identification number. There are some scams out there where vehicles sometimes are stolen and a replacement VIN number is put on the vehicle itself and replaced. One way to see if the vehicle you're considering buying is stolen or scammed is to look at the VIN number, write it down. Then look around the vehicle, open doors, open the trunk, open the hood, and look for that same VIN number on other major components of the car. Federal law requires that that VIN number be posted on all major components of that automobile. And you want to make sure that VIN number matches the rest of those VIN numbers. If it doesn't, you're being scammed.